back to my channel. It's your girl Crystal, and you are on Chrissy's Journey 876. And today I'm gonna give you guys my Meps experience. Meps, as you can see on the screen, is a military entrance processing station. Yeah, I think that's what it means. So let me just go ahead into this video. But before I do that, if you're new here, go ahead, like, subscribe, share my videos, press the like button. Just press that like button and press the subscribe button. Turn on that notification so you can see whenever I'm about to post. You can know, you can get it first. And always leave a comment below because it helps so I can know if I'm making good videos. Yeah, so I'm gonna be breaking this video down in two because it is super long, and I want to make sure that you not get tired, because sometimes I look on the videos, I'm like, 30 minutes? I'm not gonna sit down and watch this video for 30 minutes. So I'm gonna break my videos down in two for you guys. And let's get into this, shall we? Now, the last video that I put out, I told you guys that I joined the military, I joined the Navy. I actually signed my contract. I signed my 8 years contract, 4 active, 4 inactive. That's what it means. Like 4 years I'll be doing active duty. For the next it'll be inactive. But if anything happens, God forbid, if anything happened like a war or something that they need me to, a pandemic, a global pandemic that, you know, they really need us, I'll have to go back active. So they explained all of that. But let me tell you about my Meps. First and foremost, I've got to give you guys, especially the females, you have got to know what I went through. So if you're a man, and you don't hear this certain information, you know, you could skip through until, you know, skip through. But I'm gonna be, for this is mainly for my females, because you're gonna relate to me when I'm done talking and everything, or while I'm talking, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's a question I really want to find out how, what. Okay, now let's continue. Now, before I went to Meps, my recruiter briefed me. You know, he showed me my paperwork. He let me know what was on it, and I corrected whatever that needed to be corrected. Okay. And he told me, okay, first of all, I had in my nose piercings and my tongue ring, so I had to take them out. And I had my fingernails were real, but it had like clear acrylic over it with clear nail polish, so I had to cut them off. I missed my nails, but I had to cut them off because I didn't have the time to go to the nail tech, and I didn't want to spend the extra money also. So I had to cut them off. And on my toes, I had to make sure that everything, the nail polish was removed. So they tell you no nail polish. I wore my natural hair. They tell you no weaves, no wigs, no added on paste. They need you to come as natural as you can, no makeup, and there's like a list of do's, don'ts, like don't wear this, don't bring this, there's a list. So your recruiter will, more than likely your recruiter will give you that list. But for my females, just keep it simple. If you have to wear that natural hair, nobody knows you there, nobody cares about you. So, well, they kind of do care, but you know, nobody cares about your appearance, like physically. If your hair is all, you know, short, just make it as neat as possible and dress business casual. For me, my recruiter told me to wear jeans, so I did exactly what he said. And I didn't have any tops because most of my tops were crop tops, and don't wear any crop tops. Don't try it, okay? Don't try it, because you will get kicked out for that. So I never, most of my tops are crop tops, so I had to ask my husband for, he gave me one of his polo shirt, and he gave me some black tees. So I brought those. I wore the first day I wore khaki jeans and one of his black tee, yeah, and some sneakers. So you need to make sure you have closed toe shoes, not them slippers. Don't wear no slippers, they're not gonna let you in with any slippers. Now your recruiter should give you a letter or 2 letters, no, 1 letter with your COVID, because it's COVID-19, the pandemic that's happening now. There's a letter with there are 2 forms. It basically tells you that on the form, it tells you that you're aware that COVID-19 is happening and you have quarantined for 2 weeks and you have not been around anyone with COVID in the past few weeks or months or whatever. They ask you about it. So it's just a form that you have to sign before you leave, that your recruiter actually goes over with you and you sign it. And he also gave me another envelope with my ticket, my bus tickets, one to go up and one to come back. And I brought with me my social security card and my driver's license. That was it. Apart from my bag, on my back with my clothes and all of that stuff, that's what I brought. In my bag, what I brought, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrush. I brought, even though we were going to be staying at a hotel, I always bring my towel. Like, I don't like using the hotel towels. So I brought my towel, my rag, my soap, lotion, of course, my little perfume. And because I had my hair all loose, let down, I should say, I brought my flat iron because a girl wanted to make sure that her hair was nice and curled under, even though short as heck, but nice and curled under, so these people don't shout at me, because they will if you dress a certain type of way, your hair looks a certain type of way. Now, what happened was my recruiting office is in Kissimmee. So my recruiter, one of the recruiters, it was both of us. It was me and a young man, and he drove both of us to, was it D-Land? I think my cousin was like, it's not Dylan, it's D-Land. Okay, so that's what she told me to say, D-Land. If I'm saying it wrong, you can correct me. He drove us there, and then from there, I used my bus ticket to hop on the bus that goes to Meps. It's like a shuttle that goes to Meps, and other people were in there. Now, during that time, we all had to have our mask on. Like, they were serious about that shit. Even on the bus, you had to have your mask on. And because I was the only female in the bus, I was seated in the first row, and everybody else was in the back. So I really did not look at them, but I know that the bus driver warned us. He was like, listen, give me you guys your ticket, let's sign, and make sure, even though you guys are going on the bus, social distancing. It was probably about 5 of us that was on the bus, or 6, I'm not sure. So it was like a van. It was like a van, so yeah. So anyways, we reached the time that we left. It took us probably about an hour from D-Land to go to Jacksonville. And as soon as we arrived at the hotel. We arrived there, and when we got off, the driver told us, you've got to check in before you go to Meps. You have to take that COVID-19 paper. You have to take that paper, and you have to bring it to the hotel check. It's basically like a check-in thing where they take your temperature. So we had to still wear a mask and do social distancing. And this lady, she took our temperature and she wrote it on the first there were like 2 forms. So the first one, she put the time in, the time that we came, and the temperature. So if we just to say, if your temperature is really bad, they're not going to take you at Meps. So that's your ticket to go to Meps. Then we went back on the bus. We didn't check in. We took our stuff and we went back on the bus and went to Meps. No, going to Meps, you know, we did a security check-in, and then after the security check-in, we did we had to show them our social and our IDs. After I did that, first of all, you guys are not allowed to have your cell phones. So once you check in, before you check in, you have to put your bags in a room. So you have no electronic devices that are all on you. You just have your social and your ID card. That's all you're gonna be walking around with. And you're gonna give them that COVID-19 paper. That's what you use to check in. So I checked in, and then I was supposed to confirm my Picat score. Let me say about my Picat score. It was awful. The first time I did it, I studied my butt off and I got an 82, which was so good. It was it was really good. But I was there to confirm my Picat score, and I was told that, listen, you have to make sure you remember the answers that you put on so you can still get your same score. But I was nervous as heck. I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. And that thing, they were having issues also, but I don't know, but I got kicked into Asvab, and I was not prepared to take the Asvab. I was not prepared at all. So I ended up taking the Asvab. I did pass, but it was not with a score that I wanted. Not such a good score. But hey, I passed, so whatever. I was feeling a little bit disappointed. But let me tell you, after taking the Asvab there, after I took the Asvab, which took me like almost 3 hours to do the test. You know, the Asvab has like math, arithmetic, auto shop, mechanics, electronics, all of English. It has no comprehension, word vocabulary, word knowledge. He had a whole lot of, I think about 11 categories. Yeah, 11 subjects and things that I was studying for, but I was not going into depth. All right, so after I did my tests, it was time for us to go back to the hotel. They never told me, they don't tell you your score, so I had to wait. The anxiety was crazy because everybody coming out was like, jeez. We were waiting. It was like the longest wait for the bus to come back and pick us up. And while we were waiting, we were all there. Oh my gosh, the test was so hard. It was so hard. It was so hard. It was extremely hard. I'm going to tell you the truth. It was hard. And it was when I went outside into the bus, when I texted my recruiter, I was like, yo, please tell me I passed. Did I pass? Did I pass? And he was like, yes, you passed. And I was like, oh my God. I screamed out. I was like, thank you, Lord, I passed. So that was the first stage. I was like, yeah, that's good. We went back. But let me tell you, going at Meps, they have the social distancing thing. When you go in and you're there taking your test, even when you're taking your test, you have to have your mask on, and they don't put you too close to each other. They do practice it. So I really love the idea that they watch out. They're like very concerned, and they're very aware of what's going on, and they don't play. Okay, they don't. So going back to the hotel, we had to check in with our ID, and we had to give her was it a COVID thing? Yeah, we had to give her the COVID. Oh, one thing, my recruiter gave me also a paper that has tells Meps why I'm there, like, because I was there to confirm my my Picat scores. So my recruiter has that letter to say, okay, I think it was called a 680, that I'm there to confirm my scores. Now, after we checked in, we went to the hotel, and they gave us a little brief. Listen, this is COVID-19. We don't want you in the lobby. At that time, we advise that you get your food, go straight to your room, and you're not allowed to come back downstairs. You're not allowed to come back downstairs. No, you weren't. So they gave us the room numbers. I did not share a room with anybody. I don't think they allowed anyone to share a room because of COVID-19. And the fact that I was the only female there, so I don't know. At that time when I was checking in, so I don't know. But before I went to my room and went to get some food, they told me they had like about 3 choices, but I chose fish. And I had they gave me 2 pieces of fish that they fried in some batter. I had no choice. And some wedges, potato wedges, and broccoli. Yeah. So after I went to my room, ate my food, of course. You know, called up my husband, my kids, my family, my cousin, let them know what a bad day I had, because my Picat score was, it kicked me into Asvab. Like, the system kicked me into the Asvab test, and I was so not prepared for it. But you know, I have a strong support team. I'm gonna tell you the truth, because my cousins, they were cheering me on. They were like, it's okay. And I'm like, I didn't get a high score, so I'm not gonna get the medical job that I wanted to get. And they were like, it's okay, don't worry, as long as you get in. And they were so supportive. Like, yeah, you guys need to find yourself some good people that'll support you. I'm telling you. So I prepared my clothes. I took my clothes out. I took a shower. I took my clothes out, you know, and I went to bed. It was very good. You guys are gonna see. I'm gonna insert a video somewhere so you can see when I woke up. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in there. Not right now, but I could hardly sleep. There was at one point, I think I went to sleep. We were supposed to get up at 4 o'clock to be downstairs by 5 o'clock to have breakfast, like 5 a.m. So tell me that I went to bed around 9 o'clock, because I'm like, I want to get enough rest, because I heard it's gonna be a long day ahead of me. So I went to bed, and at one point, I swear I was sleeping for the longest. I woke up at 11 o'clock. Like, I set my alarm and everything. I woke up at 11 o'clock, and I jumped up, and I was like, shit, oh my gosh, I'm late, Jesus. And when I looked outside, it was dark. And when I looked at my phone again, it says 11 p.m., not 11 a.m. I was like, Jesus. It took me a while to get back to sleep, because I'm not used to being by myself for so long. I'm not used to that environment. I'm not even used to being in a hotel. I've never been in a hotel by myself. Never. So it took me a while to get back to sleep. And when I went to sleep, I woke up at 3 o'clock. I was supposed to wake up at 4 to get ready to go downstairs by 5. I woke at 3. So before I went to sleep, let me get you. My recruiter called me, and he briefed me. He was like, okay, you know, you're gonna be doing some exercises tomorrow, so make sure that you stretch them legs, because you don't want to go in here. I was like, I know. So he was like, go ahead, practice some squats, practice that duck walk, go ahead, practice, just stretch them legs. So I did that and went to sleep. You know, I told you I was restless. When I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I did some stretches and I did some duck walks. I also did some jogging on the spot. I did all of that. And then I took a shower because your girl is clean. Your girl not going to just go to Meps and, you know, So I took another shower, and then I went downstairs, packed my stuff up, and I went downstairs. So you guys are going to see me before. I'm inside the video right now, so you can see me in my clothes and what, you know, what I had on. So you can get an idea as in what to wear to Meps, at Meps, or to Meps. Okay, so going downstairs, they told us to give them the room key, handed them the room key, and that was our ticket to eat breakfast. So they had scrambled eggs with ham and sausage, and they had like water and tea. They probably had tea, but I didn't take any tea. I just had it because they had warned us on the farm, no coffee whatsoever. So they were wet there. I think they were, I don't know what's wrong with them and potato wedges though, because I saw potato wedges for breakfast. But anyways, I threw those out, and I had obviously the eggs and the sausage and the ham. No, by the time I was done, you know, I looked, you know, by the time eating breakfast, the whole lobby was full because there were a lot of people there waiting to go to Meps. So we had to go form this line and take out our IDs and stuff, and then go on the bus, make sure our phones were turned off. We went on the bus, and what was supposed to be a 10 minutes drive, it felt like an hour. It felt like I was on that bus for an hour. While on the bus, we all had to wear a mask, and our mask had to be up here, not down here, for those of you who don't like wearing masks, because you had to sit close to people. You had to sit beside someone. That was kind of scary, but it was unavoidable. And as soon as we arrived, it was still dark. These people were waiting in uniform, soldiers. They were waiting for us.